Hello my friends, hello, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Okay, today's video is going to be a comparison between the Tatcha Silk Canvas and the Silk Liquid Canvas. Liquid Silk Canvas? Liquid Silk Canvas. So in today's video, I am going to be using minis of both of these products. We're going to put one on one side of my face, one on the other. I'll comment on initial thoughts, and then we'll do a wear test. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start with the Silk Canvas first. I have more experience using this one. I did try using it for about 2 weeks, but I just... It never became a product that I felt like buying in its full size, even though I do think there are certain reasons you might love this product. What's nice about the original Silk Canvas is that you have a tendency to apply it in the way that you should apply pretty much any pore-filling primer, but I don't see people really do it because it's such a thick texture. You have this tendency to push it into your pores, and that really is the point of pore-filling primers. So whenever I see people just kind of smear them on, it's never as effective as pushing the product into your pores to fill them, so that when you put your foundation on later, those pores are already filled and you get a smoother surface. But because it is this thicker texture, you're still going to need to spread it out. So you see I'm spreading it where I don't really have as prominent of pores. So for a while, I've thought with this product that it seems to be more designed with oily skin types in mind. Oily skin types typically have larger pores than people with dry skin anyway. And then with that thicker texture, I've always thought, well, it would spread better on people who have oily skin. If you have really dry skin and you're trying to spread this, I can confirm that it is difficult. I did just put on moisturizer, so I'm not having too much trouble spreading it, but that's definitely something to know. The hardest part of these comparisons is always right here, because I'm pretty sure I get an overlap, but I figure it's better than having an underlap? An underlap? You guys know what I mean. And let's do the Liquid Silk Canvas on the other side. This one actually has about the same color. It's that light, very light pink. I'm trying to apply this mostly the same way, but you can already see how much better it's spreading on my dry skin. Let me make sure the mirror's not blocking and just go in with a little more to best demonstrate this. I could be missing completely. I don't know. That is an immediate noticeable difference. This side is a lot more shiny, more glowy, whereas this side is a lot more matte. You see these differences? So we're gonna go ahead and let that sink into my skin for a few minutes as we discuss the differences between the two. So I still have the sample box, so I'm just gonna look at the website to compare the ingredients and the claims on the original Silk Canvas primer. So I think the first thing that stands out to me is that you do get more for your money with the Liquid Silk Canvas. That one is $52 for an ounce, whereas the original Silk Canvas is $52 for 0.7 ounces. Both of them seem to be making really similar claims. They are saying they're both oil-free, made to help your makeup last longer while minimizing clogged pores and breakouts. Both of them are, of course, focusing on silk as an ingredient. 3 forms of silk, and that is what is supposed to diminish the look of pores, fine lines, and imperfections. And when we get into the ingredients, there are, of course, a lot of similarities, but they're kind of really different in the first couple of ingredients. And of course that matters because the first ingredient on your ingredients list is the one you have the most of. And then it goes in descending order until 1%. So the first ingredient in the original Silk Canvas primer is actually cyclopentasiloxane, which is a silicone that evaporates. The second ingredient is water, third is glycerin, and then fourth is a ferment filtrate ingredient, whereas when you come over to the Liquid Silk Canvas, that ferment filtrate is the first ingredient, followed by cyclopentasiloxane, a cross-polymer ingredient, and then water. So it's very interesting here. I feel like you're getting a little bit more of the skincare-like ingredients more quickly in the liquid version. Let's go ahead and get into putting some foundation and powder over this. I want to make sure I'm using products that I use all the time so we can really focus on the primer. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation. This is 30 CG. It's got that slight olive color to it that is just a perfect match on me. And then I've got the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge to blend this out. It looks like everything is going pretty well at this point. I'm gonna break out my Ulta concealer, and then I'll do some cream concealer today. One thing I've noticed that seems to apply to both of them is that it's almost as though the primer immediately grips the foundation, so you really have to blend kind of quickly. If you don't, it becomes very difficult to blend because that powder, silk powder, potentially has already gripped onto the foundation and you just can't blend. So I had that problem on my forehead. I just ended up giving it a spritz. We'll see if that fixes it. But there's a pro in this, and that's that, I don't have any powder down, but I'm not seeing a lot of creasing around my eye area. Again, because I think the powder acts as the silk powder acts almost as a pre-powder. So I've got my Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. I'm going to very lightly tap this under my eyes. I actually find that with both of these primers, you do not need as much powder as you might with another primer. I tried Silk Canvas such a long time ago, and I felt like it was for oily skin. And I think the interesting thing is, I kind of feel that with the liquid silk canvas as well, but maybe to a little bit of a lesser extent. I still think the product is designed with powder inside of it with oily skin in mind. All right, I'm gonna go in with a little tiny bit of powder. I'm really trying my hardest to keep this super light. I don't feel like my makeup is as blended as it should be. Okay. This is not a negative review. Sometimes people think I'm way too hard on products, but I'm really just trying to narrow down, if this is something for you or not. So both of them are remarkably similar to me in their effect on the skin. I think the biggest difference so far has been that the liquid one spreads better over dry skin. I think both of them do that automatic setting of your foundation, which I think you just have to know if that's something you're going to love or hate. I mean, you have more time in between foundation and putting powder on. That could be a huge appeal to some people, but if you're slow in the blending phase, you could encounter those problems that I was encountering on both sides, And yet I'm still thinking about the fact that your money goes a lot farther with the liquid version, and it is lower in the silicones than the original silk canvas. So that's annoying me. It's definitely a spot that I messed up, but I'm gonna hope that when we spray, maybe that'll reduce the appearance of that. I want to try using some of the makeup in this Glossybox Easter egg today. This was supposed to come in PR a long time ago, if you can guess from the date. But, we've had, So true story with this. Glossybox had reached out to me. They were like, we're going to do this Easter promotion. Do you want to get it and unbox it on your channel? And I was like, yeah. Well, a lot of time passed and a lot of things happened in the world, and they just got back to me and were like, hey, we sold out of it, but you know what? We're just going to send it to you anyway, which thank you, because I've had a lot of brands, reach out and say they'll send you something, and then you just don't get it. So I really appreciate this, even though now you guys can't get it either, but you can still get Glossybox. Years ago, I started getting subscription boxes. I know I have talked about this on my channel. I enjoyed them for a long time, and then around 2016 I put up a video talking about the boxes that I thought were most worth it, the ones where I'd kept a lot of products versus the ones where I hadn't, and I ranked Glossybox second, and I stand by that. I think that Glossybox curates their boxes well, and what I mean by that is I think they put really good products into their boxes as opposed to high value products. Oh, I wish that my video that brought so many of you here, my beauty subscription box video, I wish I did that now, because I feel like now my comments would be taken much more seriously. Oh, I got so many hate comments on that video. So many people that were like, this specific box has such a higher value. I can't believe you would say that these boxes with the lower value were better, because value's not everything. Y'all, give me a product from The Ordinary any day over Fascia Skin's supposedly $100 product. What's in this box? So this is the Q&A Niacinamide Daily Toner. This is an incredible toner, but it is also a very inexpensive product. This is exactly what I was talking about. I think this is around $15. No fragrance in this, extremely straightforward. This is a nice toner. I have been using this one because I ran out of my other toners. Made in England. This is great. And I think the best part of it too, if I really love this, it's only $15, assuming I can get it easily in America. I feel like that's the one potential con with Glossybox, but I like trying products from other countries. Tony Moly Pudding Jelly Mask Sheet. This is interesting. I've actually never tried these particular sheet masks. It's actually not too bad. Green tea, licorice. I've heard from a lot of people that your experience with Tony Moly will be dependent on the product that you try. So I've never really liked the I'm Real variations, but we'll try the pudding. Oh, I got a Good Genes. It's just a little sample, but I love Good Genes. I wish that I didn't. Oh, wait a minute. Glycolic treatment. Is this the other variation? This could be so fascinating. I'll actually get to share with you guys the difference, and I already know there's going to be a difference because glycolic and lactic are very different. These headbands that I love, this is from the Vintage Cosmetic Company. It's actually a really great brand. They carry them at Ulta. You can get these kinds of headbands. I also got a cleansing tool from them for like $6. Yeah, they're a great little brand. And then here's the makeup items we'll try on today. This, I believe this is 3INA. I looked this brand up. I couldn't find them in the US, but they're an affordable brand too. This is a highlighter that is made in Italy, and then we have an Illamasqua lipstick. See what I'm saying? Like, these are good products made in Italy, England. Where's this one made? Made in Italy. If you're curious, this eye look is actually the good old Lorac Unzipped eyeshadow palette. Didn't expect to be using that in 2020, but I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Milani bronzer, and this is why I don't do my hair before I do bronzer. I feel like with me and bronzer, I have to blend it in extremely well, or it just looks forced. Because you can look at me and tell, you know, like, that girl hasn't been in the sunlight for more than 15 minutes this entire year. And then the Bare Minerals Mauve Sunrise Blush, just ignore my hair for the moment. So we gotta make sure it matches, I gotta match something to my shirt every time that I do a look. I feel like that's the trick to pulling it off. Today on Will It Blend? Anyone remember that? Anyone? You guys, I just came up with the most genius idea of all time. Okay, are you ready for it? Sweatpants, where the entire front thigh area is a brush switch. I know, some of you are like, I already own that. So this is the highlighter. It really looks like it's going to be a blush topper, but I think it's better to go with this type of a shade because that way it can be used by all skin tones. I think, you know, in these subscription boxes, if you go too light, it becomes practically unusable. But look, I can pull that off. Okay, it's a little bit more of a blush topper, but that's actually really pretty. Huh. Pulling that out a little more because I'm going for a natural look today. I don't know if I'm pulling it off or not, but that's what we're supposed to be. Do you have any idea how hard that is for me? You know how much I want to go over the top every day of my life? I'm going to add that mist, the Lila Bee Aglow Face Mist. Ugh. I get carried away with the mist because it just feels so nice on. Illamasqua Antimatter Lipstick in the shade Cosmic. I'm so excited about this. I've wanted to try Illamasqua for so long. That looks like it should be a good shade. Should we do lip liner? Let's just go for it. Let's just try it. It's got a much more firm texture to it than a lot of lipsticks on the market. See, I absolutely love that shade. I love these kind of pinks. So I'm gonna call this look done and we'll check in a little later. Alright guys, it has been 9 hours and I am officially tired. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it, and I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna change. I've kind of been watching my skin over the last couple of hours, and see, you could tell I'm getting tired. The last couple of hours, and yeah, it's not changing. It seems to be going in one specific direction, and that is that the original is wearing better. With this side over here, it seems like the foundation is kind of wearing off a little unevenly. There's definitely some patchiness starting, whereas it's pretty much all holding up fantastically on the silk canvas side. I also feel like my pores look smaller on the silk canvas side. However, I will say it is a more matte finish and it stayed more matte, and this has stayed a little bit more demi matte. So it's an interesting contrast because I definitely felt like applying the liquid silk canvas was much easier than applying the silk canvas, but maybe just possibly the slightly more difficult application of the silk canvas could be better for you. And yet I want to be clear that I think ultimately they're both quite similar, and I think they both help to keep your makeup on a lot longer through the day. Something that happened today, tragically, is I had to go out to the store for toilet paper, of course for toilet paper. So I had to put a mask on, and I was actually amazed when I took the mask off and saw that there was no sign of foundation on the inside of the mask. So, you know, that's something that normally would happen to some extent with that Urban Decay foundation, and it didn't happen with this primer. So now that I've done this 9-hour wear test of the two side by side, I've got to, you know, surprise myself here and say I actually think the original silk canvas wears better. I think the liquid silk canvas applies better, and I also do think that you get more for your money with the liquid silk canvas. And I do want to close out this video by reiterating, you know, if you do like the idea of the silk canvas, don't forget that e.l.f. does have a dupe, the putty primer. I do own the luminous version because matte looks are not for me for every day, and I do really like it. I really do. I think, you know, you don't necessarily need to drop the $52, but that said, you know, I would say overall it was a good experience, especially that mask situation. I feel like that helped me to really see, you know, a strong appeal in this product, even though for me personally, it's not something that I've been interested in investing in. But anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like one of these? Do you like both of them? Have you two compared both of these? Let me know, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.